Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Ba, 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 ba. Let me turn this down for myself. Alright, it looks like I am live. Let me check all the scenes, make sure they work fine. Bottom camera. Everything's looking good. Let me quickly test the chat. Test 1. Test 2. Perfect. Yes, and it shows it. I don't think I need to do the tests every single time, but I always get scared that they won't work. Yo, 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 yo. Born, my man. How's it going? First in, as always. How was your weekend, my dude? Are you still watching that the football anime? What was it called? Al Ashi? Is it still good? You still enjoying it? Da, da, da. Started to really cool down in the UK, which is nice. Getting a lot of rain, which makes it easier to work from home. You're not sweating as much. Or overheating. Ba, 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 ba. Now let me get this up. Whoo. Let's there we go. Done. Alright, as always, I like to start the stream with my viewer comments because I always lack the ability to respond to people immediately, but I've been doing better. I've been responding to people every now and then when I get a moment. You have the day off? Just the one day? You should take more time off. What have you had planned? Anything interesting? Or just chilling and relaxing? Which is good enough. Alright. Viewer comments. Starting off with yours, Born. You think the season will be over soon? What is it? Is it half year? 24 episodes, I presume? Because it started in spring, right? If it's still going on, it should be like probably reaching episode 20 now. About to start a huge game in the show. Is it set in reality? Like there's no like special effects or anything like that? You know how like Haikyuu doesn't have any special moves, like there's no power levels or power scaling or anything like that, but then you have like Kokoro Basket, which I think has like super moves, like they're turning Super Saiyan and stuff. I think that's where I can't get into sports anime, where they're adding like battle shonen aspects to the sport. You know, when they hit a tennis racket, or hit the tennis ball with a tennis racket, and then the tennis ball turns into some sort of fire or lightning bolt and dashes all over the place. That's when I can't really get into sports series. I haven't read a tremendous amount, but I've watched a fair few. And yeah, just, I don't know. Not my cup of tea, I must say. But I am, what did I enjoy? I can't remember the name of it now. It was the the volleyball one with the girls. But I think I was probably enjoying it for a different reason. Took Thursday and Friday off for dog sitting. Nice. What dog do your parents have? And what manga did you read? Did you buy? I myself, I'm struggling to purchase manga. Money's pretty tight at the moment. I can't just throw it around like I was earlier on in the year. Christmas is coming up soon, and things are getting a little bit more demanding with family, going places. I just want to shut myself in and just buy loads of manga. Batman, I think you've told me Batman Born. You think you've told me that Batman is a good starting point for the series. I will probably put it on my Christmas list for someone to purchase it for me as a Christmas present. If I don't have the spare cash to buy it beforehand, but I'll probably definitely give it a go. Considering every single stream that we've done the marbles race, you've egged it on that much. And I've got one other friend who's into reading comics, specifically DC. He doesn't really read Marvel, and he said this one's in particular is quite interesting. There is another one that people suggest. I can't remember. I'm sure somebody mentioned it in chat a few weeks ago. I don't think I put it on the list. I'm just checking to see what my recommendations say. So there's another Batman one that people recommend that is a good starting point. Okay, no, I haven't put it down. And what was the Batman movie? Batman Ninja, right? Had you seen that? Have you seen Batman Ninja? I said when I saw the trailer, I said I was gonna watch it because I thought the Joker looked really cool, and I loved the voice actor for the trailer, but I never got around to watching it in the end. It's grounded in sports. Oh, that's good. I did say I was going to pick it up, but I cancelled my Crunchyroll subscription, I think, a few weeks ago because I stopped watching as much because I was dedicating most of my time to reading anime. But the fall lineup looks stacked, so I'll probably be getting the account again. So I'll stick it back on the list to watch. I'll binge that whilst watching everything else weekly. So there's no superpowers. That's good. Yeah, I think it gets a little bit silly. I mean, I watch Battle and read Battle Shonen for that reason. You know, that's why I enjoy watching stuff like Dragon Ball and reading One Piece because they have those elements. I feel like to have it in sports is just a bit much for me. I tried Initial D. I couldn't get into Initial D. Maybe because it's so old and I'm not really into cars and that kind of stuff. I have watched some of Slam Dunk. I never finished it. Oh, Batman Year One is what you're referencing here. I'm gonna find. Can you watch Batman Ninja? Batman Ninja. Where do you watch it? Is it on Netflix? It is on Netflix. One hour 25 minutes, so around hour 15 by the time the credits, because it normally includes the credits. Now the question is, do you watch it in English or do you watch it in Japanese? I don't even know if I think the trailer that I watched had, I think the trailer was Japanese audio. I don't know if they've dubbed it in English as well. Maybe. Gecko, how's it going? How's your evening, morning, or night going? Ford says on the cleaning video, which has nothing to do with the video, can you please make a video on places to buy manga in the UK? Because I have no clue where to buy them except Amazon. I think Amazon is pretty good for the most part. You don't get the best deals, especially on things like Viz titles, because you can get them so much cheaper at like Forbidden Planet, where you get 3 for 2. So you get them for around close to nearly £5 a volume, as opposed to, I think most of the time on Amazon they're still around 6 to 7, which is like close to retail. But there's so many videos out there that you could just YouTube. Not sure. Actually, I need to. Whereabouts do you live? Live in the UK? North? South? Because the north and the south are completely different in the UK in terms of where you can buy manga. If you're in the south, you can just go to London and go to any bookstore and they'll have manga there. I'd say Forbidden Planet is your best bet for cheaper manga, but Amazon is great for pre-orders, especially for like series that are really popular and tend to get sold out pretty much instantly. I'll try putting something together in the future. Yeah, I don't think I'm the most qualified, because although England is so much smaller than somewhere like Australia and Japan and America specifically, where you can buy almost any other store, you can buy manga probably. England, there's not that many stores, and we don't have like secondhand bookstores in the UK, which kind of sucks. Well, we do, but they're all charity shops and people don't give their manga there, and if they do, it's rare, to be honest. Even my local library that has a small selection of Attack on Titan and Naruto volumes, they don't keep them out. They're all locked behind, not like a closed door, but they're kept out back because people had started stealing them. So it's quite easy to go into any secondhand bookstore, and if they have them, it's unlikely that they'll be there for long if you do see them. Yeah, when I see all these Americans going around to their local bookstore, secondhand bookstore, they pick up so many. There's so many shelves filled with manga. It's ridiculous. Archangel, how's it going? Yo, did you see the new characters for Genshin that just came out? I say just come out because I don't really play the game, but I still follow it every so often. And I saw a tweet, I think it was yesterday or the day before, of 4 new characters. 1 boy, 2 girls, and 1 lolly. Anthony says, hey, love your videos. Quick question. With the buy 3 for 2 deal, would that be shared for all Forbidden Planet stores or just the London one? They are for every single one, but from memory... What? From memory, I'm pretty sure it's not everything. I'm pretty sure it's mostly just the Viz stuff. Yes, every main Forbidden Planet store offers 342. 342. 3 for 2. However, it's mostly just Viz titles. And mostly from Weekly Jump series. Code down. Gansha, and Seven Seas don't offer, don't have the same offer. Maybe rarely. You did? What did you think of the character designs? Because I feel like a lot of them are very samey. They're very like, a lot of the girls are just, you know, slim, showing a bit of waist, or they've got big boobs or small boobs. Or like, not small, but like petite, or like overly big boobs. I feel like they're all just looking samely. Although I did like, there was one with different color eyes. What'd you call it? What's it called when you have two different color eyes? Homochromia? Is that what it's called? Homochromia. Is it homochromia? Am I just making stuff up? Homochromia. When you have two different color eyes. Yeah, there was a character and she had like dark skin, like tan skin. She was cool. She looked cool. Yeah, so I presume they haven't given any stats or anything on what they're going to be, what kind of like, if they're going to be damage dealers, etc. In Italy, you have many bookstores. Normal stores are pretty much everywhere. That's good. I always get jealous of people who have that, because even though when I go into London, even the used bookstores, they don't have a large variety of manga, if at all. And if they do, it tends to be like relatively old series. You see a lot of I've seen a lot of Tokyo Pop series in secondhand bookstores, and then because obviously with the power of the internet, you could just search up how much things are worth, and it skyrockets. Things like Initial D aren't selling for retail price; they're selling 3, 4, 5 times that amount. Archangel, is that where you bought your Gong collector's edition, or did you buy that online? I think, let me have a look. I'm sure I liked I think this is the one. This is the one I liked. She looks cool. It's got like that pharaoh kind of feel to it. She's got like the Millennium Eye on her forehead, which is pretty cool. This character just looks like a reskin of some of the other characters with red hair, just in a different outfit. This guy looks cool, with the one eye poking out. Yeah, I see what you mean by a noob. It's got like the little pointy ears. Looks pretty cool. And I do enjoy a spear user. And then I feel like this is already a character. Isn't there already a dead character? Like a zombie character? Or am I chatting rubbish? Unboxing. How much is it to put a down payment on a place in America? 10,000? Oh, is it a skin variation? So they're not all new characters. ATM Studios, how's it going? How's your day? Morning, night? Kiki, a terrible start, 5-star unit. She's an old character, right? Or am I making this up? feel like I've seen her design. How am I? Yeah, I'm doing good. In the UK, we've had a terrible heat wave the last like month and a bit, so it's kind of cooled down the last few days, which is quite nice. So it's not been nice and chill because I work from home in this like back room that I have, so it gets quite hot during the day, but it's been nice. It's been nice and chill. But I've not been able to read as much manga as of late. I've been doing that annoying thing called socializing with friends and family, so they're taking up a lot of my time, which is very inconsiderate of them. They should just be grateful with a text saying hi, I'm still alive, and leave me be. 10k can almost get you a down payment on a house / apartment. Still, I'm sure his collection has been spread over years. So it turns out not so bad. I thought this was actually quite interesting, looking at someone's collection, because when you look at a large collection, even probably your own collection, you probably don't think how much money have I spent or how much is it worth. But it's very hard to pinpoint exactly what the value is of someone's collection, because also there's a lot of things that come out in box sets, so people don't necessarily value the singles as highly. Things like, I know he doesn't have it, but Demon Slayer, you can still get the box sets and it's kind of cheaper than getting all the singles, but people aren't going to go ahead and buy them like that. And plus the singles are already still regularly available, and in the UK we have like Forbidden Planet, which does 3 for 2. So if you, I couldn't do the math quick enough in my head, I'd have to get a calculator, but it'll probably be cheaper to just buy it brand new from a store rather than buying it off of one person. Maybe in like 10 years, if Demon Slayer isn't so popular anymore and it's sold out and they're no longer printing it. But yeah, he's got some stuff that's really expensive. Did I read Dead Dead Demons Dead Dead Destruction? No, I haven't. I haven't read it yet. It is on my to look at list because my list is pretty long. And I think that currently is at around 14 volumes, I think, or 10 volumes. I think it's 10 volumes. I want to say it's 14 volumes complete in Japanese, but I think we have, no, it's 12 volumes complete, and we currently have volume 11 just come out. So it's quite an investment in terms of money, because I do have a lot of other series that I'm collecting, but maybe in the future. It is on the list for me to pick up. I've only heard good things about it. Oh, she's just a new skin for her. Yeah, I figured as much. It's crazy because I don't play Genshin anymore. It's been a long time, but I still get hyped for the reveals, and I watched a few people online play and see what the builds look like. But I always forget when some of the characters come out. Cause like I said, a lot of them are just basic anime girls, aren't they? And the last comment I have, I can't believe I still get comments on this video. I want to take it away. I don't like the video. I really want to get into Blue Exorcist, but can't decide between Blue Exorcist, One Punch Man, or Komi Can't Communicate. They are all shonen, but 3 different series. I've not read Komi, so can't really comment. There's all kind of factors, like what gifts you attain with huge deal damage. Yeah, I think I watch a lot of people play not solo, so they'll play with a group of like 3 or 4 people. So I think it's such a difference between watching one person play who filters between the 3. Is it 3 characters you have, or you can swap between 3 or 4 characters? I can't remember now. But when you watch one person swap between all the different characters, it's a different play style than when you're watching someone play in a group. I tend to like watching people in groups because I like the running commentary that goes along with it, and then any issues that kind of arise. Waifu bait? Yeah, I think so. Born. I misread your comment. I thought you were talking for a second. I thought you were talking about Genshin, but yeah, no. I think your collection, a lot of it can be gifts as well. And you know, if you're young, if you've probably got parents and birthdays, that kind of thing. If you've got a little bit older, you might have I don't know, well-off friends, or big birthdays coming up, sort of thing. Or just other people who are interested in manga, just like buying you things just for being nice. And I find a lot of people pick up torn manga, like poorly looked after manga, so it ends up going for like really cheap. Like I've seen people do hauls where they pick up manga for $1 a volume, and they're really old series, but they've got loads of yellowing or torn pages. But some people just don't care. Dead Dead Demons is getting an anime. Is it getting an anime, or you think it's anime worthy? You've read all of them. They're all good manga. You're talking about Exorcist, One Punch Man, and Komi. Yeah, I have 4 volumes of Komi Can't Communicate, which I don't regret picking up, but I wish I didn't pick it up, because I don't think I'll collect the series anytime soon. It's kind of on the back burner at the moment. But I would say give them a read on the Shonen Jump app before going in physical. It's free. /2. Let's do dollars. I'm not too sure if this guy's $2 a month. It's free for like the first 3 chapters, and then it's the latest 3 chapters are also free. So everything in between you have to pay for. How long do I normally stream for? I stream for like, I don't know, until I finish with the content that I have. I literally go live, I say hi to people, I answer comments that I get throughout the week because I don't do them during the week. I then have an unboxing if I have unboxings to do, which I currently do. I have 2 packages to open. I then show off what I've been reading, which at the moment isn't a lot because I've been really busy. And then I end stream, normally around an hour, maybe it's an hour and a half. Rarely is it 2 hours. It's 2 hours if there's something exciting at the end, like a marble stream or cleaning manga. But today I don't have anything special, so I'll probably be on for at least another 40 minutes, I would say. One Punch Man is more serious than Blue X, which is more school life than serious at first. Both very funny. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Right, that is it for the comments. I try my best. I keep saying this. I try my best to keep on top of my comments, but I can't do it all the time. It's too hard. I'm a busy man. I wake up, I work. Bum, bum, bum. It's too loud in my ears. Right, so I actually want to go over a couple of interesting anime and manga news real quick, which I thought was interesting from last week. Nothing too interesting, but I thought it was interesting. Yeah, Chainsaw Man physicals will be releasing this October for part 2. Probably in Japan. It wouldn't surprise me. So what I find a lot of the time with the Viz um, series, they tend to be around 1 year behind Japan. One Piece, for example, is around 3-4 volumes behind, which is around a year's worth. But then every so often, a series will come out that's super popular. I know when Attack on Titan, the anime came out, they started mass printing the volumes like crazy. And to be fair, that was Kodansha. But it got to the point where we were only 1 volume behind, and it was only by about a few months. So it wouldn't surprise me if Viz kind of kicked it into gear and made sure that Chainsaw Man 2, part 2, I guess, is kind of not too far behind the Japanese schedule. I don't know the logistics behind it. I don't know if it's, Shueisha's side saying that you have to be, behind a certain amount of volumes behind, or if it's Viz with all the lettering, etc. When saying that, they produce it weekly, so I don't understand why they can't just put it into a book format and kind of ship it out, sort of thing. Yeah, it'll be interesting. If it's October, it will probably be Japanese, because what are we? I think chapter 5 or 6 just came out, and the first chapter and chapter 5 or 6 that just came out, both of them were around 40 pages, which is probably 1 volume worth, I would say. Is Chainsaw Man any good? Yeah, I think it's really good. It surpassed my expectations of what I was expecting. I was expecting just a basic battle shonen series, kind of like Demon Slayer, maybe Jujutsu Kaisen, but I feel the characters don't express themselves as deeply with words, more about emotions and actions. The art style was really interesting. It's quite brutal. I know it's only black and white, but it can be quite gory at times. I said the art. I really like the messy art style, which you see in things like Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Exorcist, or Tokyo Ghoul. Kind of reminds me of that, like dirty, grimy, unfinished and unclean sketches. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I think it's really good. It's just a demon series at its core, like, I don't know, Naruto. If you've watched that, people have demons inside of them, that kind of thing. It's good. It's good. Watch the anime when it comes out in that will be in English though. Like I said, I think we're getting Look Back in October. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I'll probably watch it just to see how it turns out. A few people, I don't want to go too far into the comments because there's like spoilers and like it's Twitter. It's possibly, you know, big old titties on there and everything. But I think a few people were saying that they want Mappa to be involved. They want Studio Shaft. I don't think it needs a really grand studio to pick it up. I think even something like Madhouse would do. Madhouse, I love Madhouse. I think I love their adaptation of Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist, and Soul Eater. And I don't think anything more than that will just be overkill. You know, UFO table, stuff like that. It doesn't have that grand action sequence that requires not necessarily the budget, but the care that has gone into, like, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer as of late. But it will be interesting to see how the story is adapted. There's going to be a lot of hands-on. I reckon a lot of people won't like the first few episodes. Some kids are going to love it. Man touching boobs and he's running around naked and everything. I think that's going to be the difficult part for them to animate. The fact that the main character, Andy, runs around naked for like the first few chapters all the time. And then at some point he's just never naked. It's kind of like how, I don't know if anyone's read Dr. Stone. They had the main three characters. They had Senku, then they had the other guy with his love interest. And then I don't know how many chapters it was, but it was around 10 episodes in the anime. So probably around 20, maybe close to 30 chapters in the manga. They switched it up. They got rid of the other two characters and it was just Senku, and then they introduced a bunch of new characters, and then that's when it became really interesting. That's kind of like how Undead Unluck is going to be. It's kind of weird at first, and then you'll probably get bored of the gimmick, and then it gets really interested afterwards. You talk for Italy because you live there, but all of Fujimoto's one-shots are coming out in September. No way, in September? Fujimoto Takahashi. Is it Takahashi? No, Tatsuki Tsukimoto. Tatsuki Fujimoto one-shots. Yeah, I don't know when we will be getting them. All I know at the moment, we are just getting Look Back, and you can pre-order that now. That's obviously in English. Is Eden Zero good? That's the it's not the continuation, but it's the same mangaka of Fairy Tail, right? I've not read it, but if it's Mashima, the mangaka, if it's anything like his previous works, Rave Master and Fairy Tail and the spin-off, I think it will probably be just your basic average shonen series. I've not read it. I've not watched the anime. I think it's animated. Yes, it started animation last year in April, and it says it's still ongoing, but there's only 25 episodes. That can't be right. Oh, season 2's starting next month. That's why. But yeah, I think Undead Unluck is going to be a bit hit or miss. What is also going to be a bit hit or miss is One Punch Man. They announced season 3 coming out. I always feel like when an anime studio is producing a long-running series and they're doing it on a seasonal basis, obviously they had season 1 and season 2. Now they've announced season 3. I feel like after season 3, they kind of have to just roll with it. They have to keep up to date with the whole... They have to do a season 4 and season 5, kind of like how Golden Kamuy has gotten. But they changed studios in the second season, which a lot of people weren't happy with because the art style had changed. Madhouse, I think it was, for the first season, they did a really good job. Obviously, it's Madhouse. But I think who is Studio JC Staff now, isn't it? I've got it up here. Yeah, JC Staff. They've done a few things, but most of the stuff that they've done is all like rom-com stuff. They did like Toradora, Shakugan no Shana. They've done a few other things. What was the action series that they did a little while ago? They've also done... Yeah, most of this is romance. Oh, they did Konosuba. It wasn't action. They did a Konosuba, which I thought was really good. The animation, anyway. But, yeah, the animation just didn't fly. Season 1 had so many iconic moments. The fight between Saitama and Genos was really impressive. Obviously, the final... I don't know if it was the final episode, but Saitama versus Boris. Ridiculous animation. And then, yeah, it just the hype didn't... Not only that, but the story was at lull at that point. So a lot of people... There was a lot of dislike against it. You didn't mind season 2? Yeah, I thought it was good. It was the upsetting part was that they animated such a lull period. If they had done a 24 episode run at the 12 episode mark, at the end of like where they had little like tournament at the end of that, when the monsters start coming in, that would have been really interesting. And I think that would have got people hyped to then expect a good season 3. But the fact that they kind of... It was the lull of season 1, story-wise anyway. And then as it started to get good, it just disappeared, which kind of sucked. Born, you don't care for much of my stuff? Yeah, I mean, I have fond memories of Raidmaster. And I remember being there on the day that Fairy Tail released episode 1. And then I binged the whole series and I really enjoyed it. But then it became very repetitive. ATM, you have to go? That's fine. You can pop in and out whenever you like. Enjoy the rest of your day. Not my cup of tea. How's it going? Long time. Yeah, I think season 2 was pretty good. It definitely didn't have the same oomph. And I know I haven't caught up to date because I'm only reading it physically, but I know that the Garu arc has now concluded. I don't think it's much of a spoiler, but these two, Garu is like the bad guy, and I think these two fight at the end, and that fight is now concluded. How it concludes, I have no idea. But it'll be interesting to see how far they go in terms of the anime, because physically you can only purchase. I think we're around 3 volumes behind the actual production, so it'll be interesting to see, because obviously at the end of the day it's not about physicals, it's about the Japanese releases. So if this was to cover the whole arc, I reckon this would probably be 24 episodes. I don't even think 24 episodes would be enough to finish the whole arc. It might be. The way this looks, it kind of tells me that these two are gonna like square off again. It would be interesting. And speaking of anime, I don't know if anyone's illegally watched One Piece Red, but I thought it was interesting to note that it's made 9.2 billion yen in its first 16 days, which is very impressive. And there's a comment here how the film earned 78% more in its first 2 days than the previous film Stampede did in its first 3 days. Stampede made a total of 5 billion in the box office in its total run. So the fact that Red in just a little over 2 weeks has almost doubled that is quite impressive. But what's always interesting is obviously a contrast. So if you compare it to something like Jujutsu Kaisen, which its box office, that is, to be fair, this is worldwide, at 190. It It'll be interesting to see when it comes out in English, what kind of reception it's going to get. Because I feel like One Piece has such a bad negative reception because of the dub that came out years ago, and it never kind of come back from that. Everyone picks up the manga, but I feel like nobody watches the anime. Murata went 2000% from the last. I can only imagine his artwork just gets, because I've only just picked up volumes 22 and 23, I think last month, and after reading those, I went back and read some of the other chapters, and yeah, his artwork it's superb. It's crazy how he's gone from Eye Shield, which had some great action sequences, to this, and these full page spreads are just beautiful. The way he depicts movement in One Punch Man is crazy. You keep missing the streams that you made today. That's fine. I mean, I play like music in the background. You can probably hear it. A lot of it's copywritten, so I can't keep the streams up live, which does affect, like, you know, my statistics and stuff, because, you know, I get a few people, not a few, like, you know, I get like 4 to 8 people, concurrent viewers on every stream, and a lot of people stay here for almost the whole time, so there's a lot of views that I'm missing out. But you don't have to say sorry for missing the stream. It's no big deal. I'll always be around. Crunchyroll released the Demon Slayer movie. Yeah, you can watch the Demon Slayer movie on Crunchyroll. But I was saying how, like, this is 190 US dollars. Now, I couldn't find the Japanese box office information, which would have helped. But then you compare it to Mugen Train, which was half a trillion dollars. I don't think One Piece will reach anywhere near that. Mugen Train, I think Demon Slayer in general, which is a different beast at the time. One Piece has been disappointing lately. Are you talking about like the whole Wano arc? The last, I'd say like 20 chapters. Obviously, a lot has happened. Yeah, he done that with, was it, what was the, not Gold, what was the one before? There was a movie before Gold where they introduced Shiki, who was a prisoner in Impel Down. They added him into the anime, they added him into the manga, and then obviously they had the movie and everything. But what I think is interesting is that Shanks is such a mystery to us. We don't really know much or anything about him, so it's quite nice that he's like a blank canvas, that a lot of the stuff that's probably going to be happening in this movie, because as I understand it, this other main character is his daughter, I think. So I think it's interesting that we can kind of just openly accept that. Is the movie canon? I don't know. I haven't watched it, but as far as I understand, most of the movies that Oda has been writing as of late have all been canon. I don't know about Gold. I need to know, what was the name of the One Piece movie? List of One Piece movies. It was Strong World. So Strong World, I think, was his first movie that he wrote the original script for, and he made that canon because it got included into the anime and the manga. Oh, you heard it wasn't. Oh, you heard it wasn't, but it has canon characters. Yeah, I'll be interested. I don't know when they'll bring it out in English. I know Crunchyroll have already said they're going to do it in New Zealand, America, and Australia. Hopefully it comes out in the UK. I'll probably watch it. I'm always a bit dubious about movies, anime movies, because a lot of the time they're not canon. They don't really add anything to the story. I don't know if any of you have, but you probably haven't. But Kingdom Hearts is a similar thing. Kingdom Hearts is a video game series, but they add so much more canon lore to not only just the video games that you have to buy on PlayStation, then you have to buy the DS game, the PSP game. You then have to pay the mobile game, and then if you go to concerts, they have like special character information and backstory there that's not included anywhere, written or or anything. So if you weren't there at the concert, you missed out vital lore that is missing. You don't have to get the DLC. I think when a franchise has to make its readers consume multiple ways of uh, getting the story, I think it's a little bit silly. Where is? I think this is over. Bloop. You'll probably get a theatre release in the UK this winter. Hopefully, that would be nice. It normally comes out around the same time as America. Mugen Train did. The Jujutsu Kaisen movie did. I believe Stampede did as well. I remember watching Stampede whenever that was, years and years ago. I say years and years, like 2-3 years ago. Stampede was 2019. That's crazy. Man, time sure does fly, doesn't it? But yeah, I think this is interesting. This might potentially be the last One Piece movie, like canon One Piece movie, because the last like 3 have been quite interesting. Actually, One Piece Z, I don't think that's canon. Yeah, I don't like it when they do movies. It's forced me to believe things that I previously thought not untrue. But we shall see. And plus, the fact that Oda wrote the story kind of shows that it might be canon, but we'll see. And speaking of anime, the last movie was Zed. Was it the last movie Zed? Oh, the last movie you watched was Zed. Yeah, Stampede was pretty good. I haven't watched Gold. Stampede was 2012. 10 years ago. Man, I feel old. Yeah, they had Stampede, Zed, and then they had a couple of like, they do movies based on arcs, so they re-released the arc. Also in 2012, they did the episode Arlong, where Nami obviously joins the Straw Hats for the first time, and obviously you go to Arlong Park and everything. And you've just got the basic 5 characters, One Piece, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp. But it's condensed into a 90-minute movie. So they do that quite frequently, but they've had Zed, and then 16 they had Gold, which I haven't watched. They had Stampede 2019, now they got this one. And he's done all the most recent ones in the last 12 years. But I thought this was quite interesting. Mappa are obviously doing Chainsaw Man, but they've also come out and said in a French IGN interview, which I couldn't find anywhere, that they want to exclusively do all of Fujimoto's work in-house. Now, I don't know if anyone's read Look Back, but I don't know if you could turn that into a whole anime series. It's probably, what is it? Most likely, if Goodbye Eerie was 200 chapters, 200 pages, Look Back is probably similar, I presume. But it'll be interesting to see if they want to do that. A few people in the comments, again, I won't go down just in case I see Booba. It'll be interesting to see if they want to do... What was his other long series? Fire Punch. It'll be interesting to see if they do Fire Punch. But I don't think I've ever seen something like this before, where a studio would openly say, yeah, we want to do everything. Even Studio Wit, which just came out for the first time, its first production was Attack on Titan. Obviously had season 1, season 2, season 3, but then they dropped it after that. They started picking up so many more series, because obviously their artwork was amazing. Looking forward to look back. Yeah, me too. I haven't read it. I know I've got the Viz app, but I'm just gonna wait until I've got the physical on pre-order. And I would suggest everybody do the same and maybe try and pick up as many volumes as Chainsaw Man as possible, because once the anime drops, I think that's going to be the big shift. I haven't really been speaking about it too much, but you know, I picked up My Dress Up Darling just before the anime dropped because I looked at the season. I thought, yeah, this is going to be a hit. I also picked up Spy Family before the anime came out. The only volume I was missing was volume 1. But yeah, I think taking a look at what manga's coming out, what anime's coming out based on a manga, and kind of gauging its popularity or its obscurity is quite important if you want to keep hold of, if you want to collect something. So if you're looking to collect Chainsaw Man, it's best to come now, because I think Chainsaw Man volumes 9 to 11 are easily regularly available because they came out this year. But I reckon by the time Chainsaw Man the anime comes out and people are just going to snap it up, it's going to be out of stock probably till after Christmas, and they won't get reprint till next year. I think volumes 2 till 7 are quite difficult to find at the moment. Who knows, they might get re-released in the next few months. But as soon as you can, I'd say pick them up. Same with Look Back. If you can pre-order it. I reckon people will snatch it up. I'm scared because I haven't got Fire Punch. I'm scared that that's going to be taken up as well. Kind of like how when Soul Eater was quite difficult to find, even after the anime had finished. But when Fire Force came out by the same manga artist, it was almost impossible to find any copies of Soul Eater. The first 4 volumes you can easily get. Everything after that, impossible. And the last 5, like 20 onwards, again, almost impossible. But then again, they re-released it. But yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I think it's interesting because I like Mappa, but I don't know how I feel about the one-shots. Because really, he only has one other series that they could do. Everything else would just be like a small 30, maybe 90-minute thing. And I've got a couple more manga tidbits. I'm really surprised that the Hunters Guild Red Hood is getting a physical release. It's quite crazy. It got cancelled after 31 chapters, I think. It's by Yuki Kawaguchi, who was an assistant to the mangaka of, I can't remember his name, of My Hero Academia. They have a very similar art style. Their facial expressions are very similar. The face shapes, like the chins, etc. And just the aesthetic of the clothes, although it's very European. Obviously, My Hero is just freaking superhero outfits and school uniforms. But it's interesting to see. Yeah. It's interesting to see something like this be reprinted for reasons I have no idea why. When I am desperate to get a hard copy of Phantom Seer, which also got cancelled midway for reasons nobody knows. Red Hood, I think, just because its decline was an obvious one. But I feel like Phantom Seer was just like its sales were doing really good. Volume 3 outsold Volume 2 in its first week, 5 days I think it was. Such a strange choice of physical release. Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's connected to, you know what, it wouldn't surprise me if at the back they put some sort of reference to My Hero Academia in hopes that people will pick it up. I don't know, the assistant of the critically acclaimed manga My Hero Academia releases his own series, and that's how they're going to market it. And it would be suck. I would hate to have my series promoted like that. I'm not saying that they will, but it'd be interesting to see the back of it. Is this an older series? It came out last year, I think around April. No, probably around January time, probably, maybe just after Christmas. And then it got cancelled last year in summer, or just after summer. It only ran for 31 volumes. The first, I thought it was really good. It's, I guess you could just, at its core, it's a battle shonen series. There's no like superpowers from what I can remember. It's kind of based or loosely based on like fairy tales. They have wolves that eat humans, and then the humans have to protect themselves from the wolves. Obviously the wolves come in and they eat people, they steal people, and that kind of thing. And then they have like this hunters guild that come, like bounty hunters sort of thing. They come out and they kill the wolves. There's also witches involved, which they never really got a chance to touch on. And it started off really strong. The main character is weak. He wants to be he wants to get in, he wants to be introduced to the guild. He wants to become like a hunter, a bounty hunter like everybody else. And I can't remember his backstory with regards to parents, but I don't think he has any parents, so he's an orphan. So he has no ties, but he's really connected to his family, to his village that he lives in. And then it adds a couple of wolves who are like the bad guys, I guess, which I thought was quite interesting. And then he gets accepted into the guild, or he tries to get into the guild, and then they just go through this long, almost, it's not really a tournament arc, but it's like a training period with everybody who wants to be a bounty hunter, part of the Hunters Guild. And it just went on for too long, and I think that's where its downfall went, that it went on for too long. And unlike something like, I don't know, Naruto, where it had just Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura training with Kakashi, this has, and you had Tanjiro as well, who trained with the Tengu guy. This added like 7-8 new characters all in one go, with loads of other tertiary characters in the background, and it was just too much to focus on. You never got a chance to get to bond with the main character all too much. He was quite bland, to be fair, so maybe there was a reason behind that. But yeah, I feel like the training arc could have been speedier and far less characters. I think that would have made it far more interesting. But yeah, very interesting choice, I would say. I'll probably pick this up because I did enjoy the first, I would say this would probably be the first 2 volumes I reckon I would have enjoyed. And then after that, probably not so much. And I think it ends on 4. Right, I have been... I can't tell how long I've been live for. Wow, it is 9 o'clock. This is normally the time that I get off. But I do have a small amount of unboxing. Not a lot, but I do have a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly show that off for now. Cancelled Ayashimon is also getting a physical release. Maybe Shonen Jump just went to make physicals for cancelled stuff now. I think that's... I don't know if that's good or bad. It's good for the fans of the series. I enjoyed Ayashimon. Up until probably literally the last arc, it kind of just... It got a little bit boring, I would say. It got interesting. I think series like that, you have to let the characters grow, and a lot of people who had read it said that it was too slow. I think when you watch so many shonen series, you just expect the skill, the power creep just to happen immediately, but it takes time sometimes. Also, what was his previous work? Hell's Paradise also sold very, very well, and that's now getting an anime as well. So there's probably another reason there. This Red Hood, I have no idea. I have no idea why they're doing this. But I think I've mentioned before, it'll be good for collectors' purposes, because at some point they'll probably only do 1 print, and then that will be it. And then everybody who has copies will just have a lot of money. So I know, if you're looking to make a little bit of money, maybe pick up 2 copies of these series, because they're only going to be 4 volumes. In saying that, you've got things like the guy who did My Hero Academia, he also did another series. It's 2 volumes, and you can still get that regularly. You could also pick up secondhand Zombie Powder, the guy who did Bleach. He did a 4-volume series of that, which got cancelled. So I don't know. Maybe maybe they won't retain their value. All right, I did actually miss a couple of comments because I was going on a rant about the confusion of Red Hood. Not my cup of tea. You said Fire Punch will get reprinted, especially. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if it gets reprinted. I'm just worried that they won't reprint it. But I don't want to go out and just buy it for the sake of buying it, because I know if I buy it, I won't read it straight away. I've got priorities for other series that I want to collect. Digging the cover, Brothers Grimm / Van Helsing vibes. Yeah, I would say it's close to that. It's not as gruesome as Brothers Grimm, but yeah, it's kind of similar. It's like a shonen twist on it, I would say. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Erin, how's it going? 9 o'clock? This is around the time you normally come. What time is it where you are? You're surprised they cancelled it in the first place, Ayashimon? Yeah, I think it was just slow, and the people weren't. Obviously, Shonen Jump, we will never know why they pick up new series or why they cancel series. We're never going to be privy to that kind of information. But I think the reader polls definitely hold a. They're definitely considered when they look at series popularity. I think the numbers were doing average. And it was always kind of at the back of the magazine, which is normally where people aren't really voting for it. Especially now, I think they've changed. I don't know when they changed, but they've changed the rating system. Rather than picking your 3 favorite chapters for that week, you now do your favorite chapter and then a second chapter which you think was impressive, which was good. So most people tend to vote for One Piece, because it's at the moment the most popular, especially as of late, because it's finished off the current 1.0 arc, and then whatever other series has kind of got a hype chapter at the time. It tends to be like My Hero, as of late, has had some really interesting chapters, and Sakamoto Days as well was another one. And then a couple weeks ago they had the romance one. What's the romance one called? Love Box, Blue Box. So yeah, I think it was just going further back into the magazine, so they just had to cancel it at some point, which is a shame. And then they're printing it out physically. 4 p.m. in the US. 4 p.m. So what are you? You're east then, right? Oh, you're Miami, Florida. Sick. What's the weather like there? I bet it's beautiful. Yeah, Ayashimon. Again, it'll be another one. I think it will probably retain its value if people enjoy Hell's Paradise that much. What will happen? The anime for Hell's Paradise will come out. People will try and pick up all of the volumes for that, and then they'll see it's done by the same manga artist, and then people frantically pick up that as well. It's hot. Yeah, but you guys have air conditioning though, right? Right? Okay. I have 2 little packages, nothing too major. I don't remember what they are. They are pre-orders. Now, I've said before that my pre-orders are slowly going down. And I think I only have 2 more volumes on pre-order. I think I've got volume 100 of One Piece, which won't be out yet for the UK. And then I have volume 2 of Tokyo Revengers, which is volumes 3 and 4. You sometimes get the rain too. I bet that's just as hot though, right? When I used to go to the Caribbean, and when I used to go to Florida, I've been to Florida a few times. Whenever it rained, it was nice and warm, the rain. And volume 3 of Kaiju number 8. I've really been enjoying Kaiju number 8 so much that I've stopped reading it on a weekly basis through the Shonen Jump app. Because not to say that I enjoy reading it physical more, but I just get so hyped and so excited to read the manga that 19 pages just isn't enough on a weekly basis. I just can't do it. So I've kind of stopped doing it, and I'm just going to collect the physicals for now, which I think I'm probably maybe up to volume 6 or 7 I'm probably at in terms of like the weekly read. So it'll be a while before I catch up again. But I've been really enjoying the series, maybe because it's really nothing special, to be honest, in comparison to everything else shonen related, like action shonen. I think just because the main character is so much older, he's 32, I think. So his comedic punchlines are completely different to what you would see from other younger protagonists. And it's interesting to see the way that the young secondary characters interact with him as well. But I've also been reading a lot of Martial, Magic and Muscle. And what I've noticed with the two, although obviously one's about magic, like a One Punch Man sort of thing, and this one's about monsters, the secondary characters in this have a lot more development, whilst in Marsh, a lot of the secondary characters don't do anything. They kind of just sit there and just run around Marsh following him, not gaining any strength or, you know, notoriety themselves. So they're kind of just there as luggage. Whilst in this, all the secondary characters are either come in fist blazing, showing you that they are the boss. Like this character, I can't remember her name, but she's like she's a proper hard ass. She's super strong as well. But they all have their character developments, which is quite interesting. The last one was very, very good. So I'm looking forward to collecting this more. This is another one that's going to get the anime, that has the anime adaptation coming. Yeah, it's really good. It's funny, a lot of people say that they're going to check things out. If you've got the Shonen Jump app, I would say just give it like 4 or 5 chapters and you'll know straight away if you're going to enjoy it or not. It's melting over here in the UK. Yeah, it is. Although it's been cooling down. I'm not too sure whereabouts you are, Archangel, but in London, it's cooled down the last few days. It's been like, I don't know in terms of temperature, but it's just nice and cool. A lot of rain, which is nice. Do the kaiju monsters have a monster of the week? No, they do not, which is what I was expecting. They're more of a kaiju disposal unit, so they kind of just like loads of kaiju come at the same time, and they just dispose of them like, you know, crickets. They come and they squash, not crickets, cockroaches. They come and squash them, punch them, that kind of thing. It's not really a spoiler, but one kaiju comes out and kind of sticks around for a long time, and I wouldn't say he or she, but it kind of sticks around and causes a lot of trouble and aggravation. You'll learn about it at some point, but the kaijus have different names. Kaiju number 8 is the name of the main character, and each kaiju who is like abnormal compared to all the other kaiju, which are like just mindlessly attacking the town. The kaiju that get numbers are normally the more intelligent ones. But it's interesting. There's a little bit of mystery behind it. Nothing too extreme though. Yeah, definitely melting last week. At least it's cooled down for you as well. Especially being up north, because you get a little bit of the cold weather. My brother lives in Newcastle. And it's funny because he's up there at the moment just chilling in like long sleeves and jumpers when it's cold. And then when he comes down here, when it's cold, we're all wearing the jumpers and he's like wearing sleeveless tops because there's nothing in comparison up there. But he says it's not too unbearable up in Newcastle at the moment. It was 20 yesterday in the Midlands. Yeah, I think ours is probably around the same. I'm quite fortunate. The room that I working all day, which is this room here, it gets the sun from around 12 in the afternoon until around 5 because I have trees. So I'm quite protected for the morning. It gets hot for like 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. It retains the heat for a little bit until like 6, 7. And then it cools down after that. So it's all good. Spirit Circle. How's it going? Volume 3 didn't do too much for you? No? Yeah, I think you're going to get those kind of volumes where there's like a really hype moment. I think volume 2, like the main kaiju boss gets introduced and it's really interesting. I'm not going to show it off, but I mean, I've already read this, so I don't mind flicking through. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it has like a lull period. It's coming off the bat of volume 2, which was like really exciting, and then it starts off the first couple of chapters, maybe first couple of pages are quite interesting. Yeah, I'd say probably the first 2 chapters are interesting, and then it slowly goes down, and then you're just waiting to get into the next arc. It's like the setup sort of thing. But yeah, I would say stick with it because it only gets better. I mean, you can say that about a lot of series. I just hope it ends. I don't know how it's going to end though, and I hope it ends well, and I hope it ends short. I don't want it going on for like 30 volumes, 40 volumes anymore. I'm sick of it. Consider your interest be good. Yeah, I'd pick it up. If you don't want to pick up physically, obviously, you know, the Viz Media website has it all there. You're still not hyped for Kaiju number 8? You can wait. Maybe when the anime comes around. Because I feel like I don't know who the staff is going to be, the studio is going to be for the anime, but it's going to be amazing. I would actually love to see UFO Table tackle this one, because the kaiju, although I don't get like an electrical feel from them, I can imagine it would look really nice to see like the pulsing veins go through the kaiju, like a 3D spin around like the Matrix. And just some of the attacks that I think it would be great. As an older dude, you definitely appreciate older protagonists these days. Yeah. I know how you feel, my dude. How have I been? Yeah, I've been good. Can't grumble too much about the weather, but it's picking up. Well, I say picking up, it's cooling down, so that's nice. The endings are hit or miss. Well, for Kaiju number 8, I think the endings are pretty good. I mean, he's always there at the end. His Kaiju outfit. Wait, 20th Century Boys, the main cast are literally all boomers? I thought they were all kids. It's funny, before the pandemic, before COVID happened, I remember going to Forbidden Planet. So, what was this? Circa 2019, winter. And they had all of the singles for 20th Century Boys. I don't know what it was with the pandemic. I don't know why there's so many people out there that got into manga who never even watched anime. They just got into manga because I don't know why. But yeah, I remember seeing them, and I'd seen them for years in this Forbidden Planet, just always there, volumes 1 to 20, and then 21st Century Boys, all the singles. And I said, oh, one day I'll pick it up, and I never did. But I'm pretty sure I looked at the fronts. I'm sure they all look like little kids. Or do they start off as little kids? I ordered Sunny by Taiyo Matsumoto. Are they expensive? Are they hard to come by? Because I just finished number 5 by Taiyo Matsumoto, and I want to pick up something else. I was going to pick up Ping Pong. And then I started looking at some of his other works, and Sunny was one of the ones that I couldn't really find a lot of the volumes. What is it, like 5, 6 volumes, I think it was? Oh, the series in general? Yeah, I think you could say that about most series, to be fair, if they're hit or miss or not. So Essential Boys reminds you of it in that aspect. Yeah, is that how it is? So he skips back and forth between. Ah, right, okay. Ah, right, okay. I didn't know that because I'm sure a lot of the pictures that I see on the front cover, especially for the singles, they're all little kids. But that kind of makes sense. It's only 6 volumes. Yeah, I think I did have a look. I'll see if I can find some copies because his art really grew on me. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons I enjoy manga because when I was younger, I used to draw a lot, and seeing how people can draw emotion and a story, not necessarily in the same way. A lot of Kodansha work that I've been reading as of late, Witch Hat, Atelier, Drifting Dragons, they look very similar in art style. Even if you look at, I read Weekly Shonen Jump every Sunday, and a lot of the series have very similar, not necessarily character designs, but you could just tell it comes from Weekly Shonen Jump. So when I read Teo Matsumoto and I see his obscure art style, I was really interested. At first I was put off, to be honest, but it drew me in. I got interested. So I'd like to consume some more of his work. All right, so that was 1 volume. And this is a big volume. It's probably a Kodansha book. Don't know what I've picked up. Ah, My Dress Up Darling. You know what? I've been seeing copies of My Dress Up Darling in different languages on Instagram, and it has so many different names. I think it's pretty cool. This one, again, obviously, is shrink wrapped. I don't know if you can show most of the contents of this series on stream. But you know what? I'm a small channel. I have like 5 people viewing. I'm sure I won't get in trouble. Sunny is incredible. But how easy is it to get in the UK? Sunny's getting a reprint this month. Or at least it appears so. Right, I'll stick it. Oh, it's already on my list, but I might stick it a little bit higher. There's some series that I know that are hard to come by. If ever I see them, I kind of pick them up as priority. Same with the Kurosagi corpse delivery service that get reprint in the omnibuses. How do you guys feel about omnibuses? Because I have really big hands, so I can hold an omnibus, like a 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1, relatively comfortably. But I know a lot of people don't enjoy purchasing them, but they have no other means of purchasing the singles. You've heard of this title, but never looked into it. Is it very pricey? Well, this one's not pricey. They've just recently reprinted a lot of the volumes because obviously the anime show aired earlier this year. And I remember picking up, I think, the first 4 volumes because I assumed it was going to be very popular. So I picked it up instantly. And I thought to myself, if I pick it up before it gets popular, I'll be able to either sell them on, which I normally don't do, but if I didn't like it, I could sell them and get my money back. And I definitely wanted to pick it up because I knew it was going to be out of print, and they were. As soon as I think the second episode aired, Volume 1 and Volume 3 were snatched up instantly. How does Dress Up Darling compare to the anime? I have not watched the anime. I've watched clips of some of the more erotic scenes and more popular scenes. Um, Honestly, from the scenes, I think it's exactly the same. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's a little bit more um, erotic in the anime form because obviously you have the audio aspect of the gasps and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more horny to watch the anime, I feel. That's just based on the clips that I've seen, though. That being said, it's manga. You get away with a lot more. I think you actually see breasts and nipples in this from memory, which they don't do in the anime, but in the manga they do. There's a lot more skin, I would say, in some scenes. There's one character that gets introduced, typical Japanese style, 17-year-old, I think she's 17 or 18-year-old, who is the youngest looking character. The main character walks in on her, and yeah, she's got nothing but a towel in her hand, but in the anime, I think it's draped over her, so you can't see as much. But as far as I understand, I spoke to a few people. It's like beat for beat, panel for panel, exactly the same. You don't mind omnibuses? You have long fingers? Yeah, it's because you can play the guitar. How are you at playing the piano? Can you play piano? I bet you'd be great at piano as well. You don't like omnibuses with weak spines? Yeah, I think that was quite common years ago. I don't know so much now. I know the Vizbigs, they were quite notorious for having spine damage quite easily. A lot of the hardbacks, I don't have any hardbacks other than Vinland Saga, but they're pretty sturdy. I don't know about the Berserk, but everyone's collection that I see with Berserk, Monster, the spines all look clean. But then I guess it depends. I've seen people. What did I watch? I watched Boogie Snacks. He did a manga unboxing the other day, and it was for that new series that you purchased, Arc. It was what was it called? The Yoshihara. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, it was a new series, and I think that's in Omnibus as well. And he opened it, and for me, I tend to open series just like this. I rarely go more than like 45 degrees. This is as much as, oh my God, you can see how bent it is. I rarely open it past this. I tend to do this more often because you can easily flex these back. I think it depends on how wide you do it. But when he did it, he like proper creased it over. So I guess it depends on how far you open it as well, surely. But yeah, I can imagine for omnibuses it's quite easily to ruin the spine. It's a long run. Blam is very uncomfortable to hold. What's Blam? Is that 2-in-1? Blam is really not pleasant to hold. Is Blam not just the same size of like every other omnibus? Oh, Born, you got the omnibus for Girl from the Other Side. Yeah, the quality does look good. It's like embossed with the gold text. Is it leather as well? It looks leather. Is it one of the best hardcover manga? Reminiscent of the Gundam Origin manga. Is that hardback as well? I thought they were paperback. With like French flaps? Is that what they called? The paper wraps round. To be fair, I don't own any. When I see them in collections, they just look softback. Do I prefer you do prefer slim single volumes? Yeah, same. They do feel better. I'm a big fan of color art as well, so the color pages are nice to look at. When I look at all of my One Piece manga, I get to experience the front cover every single time, whilst if you get the omnibus, you only get like half of all of the 3 images, or some omnibus they just do one cover and that's it. Like Shaman King, they've redone all new front covers for their omnibuses. I think they're doing 3-in-1s as well, Same with Tokyo Revengers. You're only getting the front cover for the first volume of whatever it is, and I presume the other covers will probably be inside, but it's not always the case. Langston, how's it going? Kimono Jihen is good. Kimono Jihen. What? I just looked at images. I saw some guy with a bloody face. I will stick it in my recommendations. And I'll have a look at it a little bit later. Let me stick that in. That was Langston. But thank you for the recommendation. I'll stick that in. Yeah, I see someone on Twitter with the girl from the other side omnibus collection. They got it from Amazon, and the whole spine was dented, like on the corner, like here. And obviously, because it's hardback, it's almost irreversible. The damage is terrible. I think they got a refund, or a replacement. But that's the scary part. Blam is oversized and surprisingly heavy. Oh, it's 2.5 in ones. Very uncomfortable to hold, and they're massive. Does anyone have the... Oh, you have the Berserk hardcovers, don't you? In comparison to those, because I think that's the only physical omnibus that I've actually held myself. Because Vinland Saga is small in terms of like size. It's a slightly oversized. It's not oversized. It's standard Kodansha size, but it's not that big. But when I hold the Berserk ones, they are chunky. Yeah, Vinland Saga does feel very light. That's maybe why it's so comfortable to read, and why I sometimes, when people say that some omnibuses are quite heavy, I don't understand, because I just assume that every one of them is like Vinland Saga. Obviously, the paper quality, the quality of the hardback is probably quite light. How not to do hardcover? Is that what you think? I think the weight's nice though. Or maybe I'm just strong with my scrawny arms. Yeah, I think I have a friend who used to work for Amazon, and their deadlines are ridiculous. His first week for working for Amazon, he had to deliver 100 parcels, which he said was quite easy. But then his second week, and for the foreseeable future, that his timescale was, I think 220 deliveries, and I think he had to do it in 9 hours, which is almost impossible a lot of the time. And for him as well, he was working in London, so it was quite difficult with traffic and everything. So I think they kind of and the people at the warehouse have to stuff a lot of the packages really quickly. So they kind of just throw things in and then ship it out. And then obviously it gets thrown in the back of the car. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen an Amazon van. I don't know how it's like in America, but in the UK, if you ever get a chance to look inside a van, it's not very pretty. There's just stacks, and they're not, the boxes aren't stacked all on top of each other, like nicely. They're not, like this, how you'd expect boxes to be stacked, just like nicely on top of each other. They're all like this and everything, so they're all getting squashed, and yeah, it's not very nice. It's not great. Rosa Vasilis by Udon is very good. Yeah, I haven't seen the Summertime Rendering hardbacks. I've a copy of Volume 1 of the softbacks, but I heard there's a load of delays with the hardbacks. Everyone I see who has a copy of Summertime Rendering, they only have the softback. That's a lot of hours. Yeah. And sometimes he couldn't even stop for lunch. His first week when he was only doing 100 deliveries, he was easily he could easily go home and have lunch because like he'd plan his route so he could stop by home so he could go in, make himself a sandwich or leftover dinner, and then just carry on working. But his second week and onwards, he had to have like packed lunch with him at all times or just eat in the car. He can never have a hot meal or anything like that. He'd never stop off anywhere either to pick up anything just in case he'd be delayed. Kind of sucks. Let me look at. I don't know if I can. Man, her. The yeah. The front covers, the page one of My Jessup Darling are always so risque. I found out as well last week that My Dress Up Darling is also written by a female. Not that it really matters, but I had seen a lot of comments from the anime that the author was a male, obviously pandering to the male audience. But yeah, it's a woman. It's a female. Let me quickly. I got nothing. Anyone enjoying summertime rendering? I'm not watching the anime. I am going to be reading the manga probably this weekend. I'm going to try and read it. Rose of Vasilis. Let me. Oh, wow, they are beautiful, aren't they? Man, they're crazy. They are nice. Can you. Omnibus.
Hey, all you Minties, this is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today for an advanced look at the Rose of Versailles hardcovers volumes 4 and 5 from Udon Entertainment. So, let's get started. Before getting started, a huge thank you to the folks
These look really
at
nice.
Udon Entertainment for sending us advanced copies
Like
of
proper
these
books.
Now, they have been delayed. They were supposed to come out in February, and now volume 4 is coming out in April, and then volume 5 in May sometime. So keep that in mind. But both of them will be available in the direct market as well as the book market. So
how many volumes is this? I presume these are 2-in-1s, or maybe 3-in-1s.
To be translated into English. The Rose of Versailles. Now, let's look at all of them together.
Wow, they look really nice.
Beautiful sight to have on a bookshelf. These are all hardcover
Oh,
editions,
pretty.
and each one of them has the Rose of Versailles right here, or Versailles if you come from Kentucky.
I like the colorway.
The Udon.
The color options. Like the cream, the light. Oh, is it lilac or light blue? I can't tell. And then the mint. I don't know about the dark blue and then the black. Maybe the story gets really dark. I don't really know anything about the series, so I can't really make a comment on it. But I'm sure there's a reason for it. Yeah, it looks shoujo. You could just tell by the art style that it's shoujo.
Ryoko Ikeda down here at the bottom. That is the creator of this manga. and of course the different characters that appear throughout the series.
Who is this guy?
Of course, each of the volumes has this gold foil around it.
Oh, look at that. It's like
beautiful book. As
stickers.
a matter of fact, when I did
It's got a
the
nice
top
gloss to
20
it.
favorite books that were released in 2020, of course that's redundant. Yes, they were released in 2020. These were some of my favorite presentations, the Rose of Versailles books that came out. And now the series is
I want to see the
coming to an
back.
end.
Show me the back.
We'll be looking at volume
I want to see what the
4
back looks
first,
like.
and then we'll look at volume 5 and talk just a little bit about the series and look at the internal artwork.
Show me the back.
So here we have volume 4. This reads in the traditional paper.
Hey, there it was.
It's the biggest volume. This one has four.
Went to
This reads in the
Yo, it's nearly $40. That's a lot. How much is an omnibus? Like a hardback omnibus. And also, who is Udon Entertainment? I've only heard of them recently with Summertime Rendering. That was like the first series that I knew. The first time I'd heard of them was through them. It's a historical shoujo. Looks like it. Oh, there's only 5 omnibuses. Book 4 or 5. Wait. Yeah, this is... I thought this was number 2. No, it's the dark blue one. Yeah, they look nice.
The traditional right to left. This one retails for $38.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to collect these.
However, this is the biggest volume. This one has 498 pages, almost 500
498.
And
Oh my god, look at his hand in comparison to the
let's look at this
volume. They
internal
are
artwork.
big
I
books.
love these. This is like watercolor paper is where they have the color pages at the
Oh,
beginning.
I hate
of
it
the
when they
book.
do that. Did you see that? That was a blank page. They could have done so much with that. There's so much retail room to put more art there. Is this who this guy is? Near mint condition? Yes, it is. I didn't recognize his voice. Many Western comments, but a lot of manga too.
Look at this internal artwork. I love these.
I've seen a
This is
couple of
like
his
watercolor paper
videos,
is
like his
where they
manga
have,
videos.
the color pages at the beginning of the book.
Oh, they do
There are
art books for
chapters
video games.
and
Ah, okay.
what episodes you will find in here, when they were originally published, and then of course
That's really cool. 'Cause not only does it have the chapters, but it also has, you might not be able to see it on your screen, but it has the chapter title, but then it has the year that it came out. The top one says episode, which I presume is its form of chapter, episode 67, 1973, weekly, I can't read what the word says. Weekly Margaret issue, number 37. I think that's cool. Because I always wonder when, because you can go on Wikipedia and you can find out when volumes come out, but you won't always necessarily find out when the chapter themselves comes out.
and looking at some of the artwork.
The paper quality looks rough, not rough, tough. Like it's not like flimsy, like that pure white paper. I don't know the terminology for the quality of paper, but yeah, it looks good. It looks like it's good quality.
Now, each of the chapters,
Oh, look at that! Yeah, nice color page. I can't watch anymore because I don't want to spoil. Is that more color pages? This is nice. This is quite popular to do in the early 70s, early 80s and 70s, to have like just red colors for the color pages. I've just started to read The Adventures of Dai. They do that also, which is pretty cool. They are big, yeah, very big. They're roughly 23, 25 online for us. I mean, that's not too bad. It is pretty good quality, I would say. Over there, they cost around $30. Yeah, the back said close to $40 retail price. So I'm sure there's some deals you can find and everything to get them slightly cheaper. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. They do look beautiful. I don't know if I'd ever be able to get a copy of them though. Right, guys. I have thoroughly enjoyed my evening. It has been nearly 2 hours. I can't remember the last time I did this. I can't remember who said it earlier. They came in and said, how long do I normally stream for? It's normally an hour. If I don't have anything planned after the unboxing, which I don't, but there was a lot of you here chilling, chatting, and it was nice. But I can't be live forever, and there's only so much manga content you can talk about. Normally I have a video that goes live at the same time that I finish, so I can force you guys to put more views onto my videos, but today I don't have a video. Maybe next week or during the week. We need more color pages in manga. Yes, we do. I quite enjoy obviously the front cover. It's obviously color, but I would like at least the first like 2 or 3 pages being color. It would be nice. Thanks for the stream. Later, dude. I will be here next week, Monday, as long as you guys keep showing up. And if you don't, then I will just be talking to nobody. I'm going to keep doing this for however long. It was fun as usual. Thanks. Well, guys, you have a good evening. Conversations wouldn't be anything without you guys. And to be fair, most of you just talk amongst yourselves, which makes me happy. I think more manga tubers should stream. I see East Coast Manga has been streaming a lot recently. Manga Crash, he streamed a little while ago. I see Doofy also stream. Archangel, I'm waiting for the Gundam setup and a guitar stream. See you next week. I will be here next week, Monday. I don't always have a time, but it's 8 o'clock British summertime. So I would say around 3 p.m. East Coast. And then probably 12 for West Coast. So everyone's obviously either still at school or middle of work. You'll be there. If you're there, you're there. And I'll see you there. If you're not, no biggie. No rush, no commitment. Alright. I'm out, guys. Thanks for chilling with me. And I will see you all next time.